Edo State House of Assembly on Tuesday 30th of August don pass reverse 2024 appropriation bill wey be n450.4 billion. Dis one na request from the executive to fit manage deficit for the 2024 budget. The passage of the reverse appropriation bill na to consider the request from Edo Governor Obaseki. The House come approve reverse appropriation bill of n450,384,248.87. The move na to manage ongoing projects and cover deficit wey inflation don cause.
Mr. Speaker, very distinguished colleagues, my name is Charity Igudaga Aikobawiyan. I represent the very sagacious people of Obiato District constituency, and by God's grace, the majority leader of this noble house. Mr. Speaker, yesterday, pursuant to the content of the letter from the governor for a proposed supplementaries with regard to appropriation bill, the matter was set down for a further date. Today, it is available for second reading. Mr. Speaker, the said motion is set down for second.
Yes, please. Debate please for the.
Mr. Speaker, the economic reality in Nigeria today has made it impossible for any planned expenditure in the last month to be effectively carried out even in this month. The hyperinflationary trend, the fact that our yesterday 10,000 naira is better than our today 20,000 naira, has made expenditure unrealistic, except there is an intervention by proper budgetary trend. Mr. Speaker, whereas the Edo State government is desirous of making life better for its citizens, whereas the Edo State government has taken action to increase, for example, the minimum wage of workers from 40,000 naira to 70,000 naira, the first in Nigeria, Mr. Speaker. Whereas the Edo State government is in the business of urban renewal by the fact of construction of roads and provision of several infrastructure, social infrastructure, economic infrastructure, and even in the legal sector, sir. And every day it is becoming evident that these projects cannot be successfully executed except there is upward review of funding, because materials have become very, very expensive. Luckily, Mr. Speaker, as expenditure is rising, for the gains made in revenue to be budgeted for the purpose of doing a transparent and responsible expenditure. Whereas, in view of the increase in the state revenue, the state government have thought it wise to review by way of a supplementary budget and revise the elder allocation to ensure that expenditure is based on this. Therefore, the state government have proposed, subject to the powers of this honorable house, an appropriation bill, a proposed supplementary revised appropriation bill for passage by this noble house to ensure that income and expenditure are harmoniously married. I mean that there should be a synergy between the takings of state and the expenditure of state. This is to ensure that there is transparency. This is to ensure that there is accountability. This is to ensure that there is spread of development in the three senatorial districts of Edo State. I therefore, Mr. Speaker, very noble colleagues, urge all and sovereign to support this responsible and responsive action by the executive arm of Edo State to ensure transparency and good governance. I pray for the support of my colleagues to enable this bill pass through the second reading. I so pray.
Distinguished colleagues, I remain Honorable Solid Father Edo Govumet, representing the people of his ancestry. Mr. Speaker, thank you for this great opportunity. Like what my colleague has already analyzed, we have to thank the state government very well because their request is not out of place. They are not asking for loan. They are not requesting for loan. We have to look at the request critically. We discover that it's something that we need to approve and give accelerated passage. Because if you look at the current trend in the economy today, you can see that prices of everything has doubled, some has tripled. Some projects were awarded before now to some contractors. Maybe a project that was given for 500 million sometime last year. This year, as it is presently, that project cannot be completed with 1 billion because of the way we find ourselves in this country. That is one of the reasons this request should be given accelerated passage by this House. And secondly, if you could recall sometimes about 3-4 months ago, Edo State was the first to announce increase of salary, minimum wage. from where it was to 70,000, which the federal government is even trying to follow. They are trying to follow suit, the pace Edo State has started. We know that before now, there was no provision for such. It has to be accommodated so that it is a recent, it is a evaluation we are trying to, it is a request that was sent to us. It will help the state to ensure that salary is being paid as amount due. And thirdly, it will equally help His Excellency, the executive, to ensure that they finish strong. To see that no project is abandoned. No project that the current administration started will be carried over to the next administration. I beg every one of us, because if you see a government that is not working, they can decide to give us so many projects. You see that most of those projects will be abandoned. They will use it to siphon money from the states. And from the look of things, Edo State is not practicing such. Please, let us give this request the urgency it deserves, so that the government that is about money will be able to finish strong, and the civil servant to be getting their salary as awarded.
Representing the entire people of this Southwest, I stand to support my colleagues in these issues, because we read every day that allocation has increased as a result of the removal of fuel subsidy. We also noticed that there is a high rate of exchange between what we see in the recent and before, because of bridging of the exchange rate factors. And these two issues have given rise to a situation where you now have more money. Every state, the federal government and local government now have more. What our government has done, which I cherish, is that he has come back to the legislative to properly account for this money. So this money, Edo State have gotten now, we can readily say it's not in the air. We know where they are plugged in. And what excites people again in this budget revised is that more attention also has been given to the capital project compared to the recurrent aspect. This is a budget, now a revised budget, where we have about 258 billion for capital as against recurrent of 192. So it shows that the governor and the executive, their intention is to see that projects that are remarkable are put in place. So I think we can actually say now that the excess money Edo State gets have been actually budgeted for, and they are not in the air. So for this reason, Mr. Speaker, I want us to give this a page to the thought required, so that we'll take them line by line and we'll give it a speedy passage, so that it's a clean and happy for the implementation. Thank you very much.
Honorable Ojezele Osezwa-Sunday, Chief. I represent all the people of East and Southeast States constituency. Mr. Speaker, just I have said before in this hallowed chamber, times without number, that budget or appropriation document is an expectation. Expected income and revenue and expenditure. That is the simplest definition of appropriation document. Mr. Speaker, when you are dealing with something expectation, in most cases there is a possibility that either it is sufficient or insufficient. In this case, just like other speakers have said, by virtue of the removal of oil subsidy in the oil sector, we have had the state and the national government have had cause to record larger amounts of money or higher value of money as an accruals, which of course, in one way or the other, while preparing the expectation document, some of those things were not captured. Mr. Speaker, before now, not long ago, we had a situation where the minimum wage was assented to at the National Assembly. You see, it's not only going to affect those who work at the national level, it's also affecting those at the state level, which of course I know these are things that were not taken into consideration at the time of this budget period. Mr. Speaker, we all know that the state government cannot decide to just spend money without recourse to this house for confirmation. As such, this budget or reverse supplementary budget becomes so important. Mr. Speaker, few weeks ago, we also had a good news that local government is now autonomous. We are all aware that there is a very great relationship and synergy between the state and the local government. There are certain things they have been doing together in one way or the other. Mr. Speaker, those things now have been shared by virtue of those autonomy, which of course means that those records we have before, those data we have before must be right. If not, some areas may have shortfall in terms of expenses. Hence, the importance of this supplementary budget. Mr. Speaker, I'm very much aware that a lot has been said regarding this supplementary budget. We all know that it is for good. Looking at the data before us, Mr. Speaker, we have found out that the very area that affects the common man or every person in this subset is the capital vote. I have seen that the capital vote has been increased, which means that everybody will now feel more impact of this budget. Hence, this supplementary budget becomes necessary. Mr. Speaker, at this point, I want to sincerely thank the House for supporting the supplementary budget because it's a bill that will affect everybody we represent here. And also, I'm happy to let you know that I've secured the mandate of my constituents to give a nod to this reverse bill.
Thank you very much.
I represent the various elected governments. I rise to second the motion ably moved by a member representing Oria North East 1 and who doubles as the majority leader. I so second.
For another matter, the House come also pass bill to establish one agency wey go protect and promote the rights of Edo residents, provide legal representation to indigent citizens, and help resolve quarrels through alternative dispute resolution for Edo State and for other related matters. Also for plenary, the Speaker, Right Honorable Blessing Agbebako, don declare the seat of one councillor wey dey represent Ward 3, Esa Central Local Government Area, Sunday Oko Odion, as vacant. They can direct Edo State Independent Electoral Commission to conduct by-election within 90 days. This resolution na based on petition from ward leaders where they accuse the councillor say e no dey come work.
Messages on their correspondence. This privacy. Let's go on the lecture from Esa Central Legislative Council. You are in the state. Address the lecture, the resolution to the Edo House of Assembly. That to resolution Esa Central Local Government Legislative Council at the city held 1st July 2024. Honorable members declare Honorable Edo Govumet Sunday seat vacant. I wish to refer you to the above subject matter and inform the Honorable House of the resolution of Edo State of Esa Central Local Government Legislative Council at the city held on 1st July 2024. Honorable members declare Honorable Edo Govumet Sunday Ward 3 seat vacant as follows. One, that the House consider the election of the seat presented by the Honorable Edo Govumet Sunday Ward 3, which was dated on the 8th November 2023. And the Honorable House gave an approval to remove accept for the medical emergency. Two, that the annual committee turn in their report to the House. Now, Honorable Edo Govumet Sunday travel out to United Kingdom with his family, and he has also overstayed out of legislative business following the regular session of the Edo State Local Government Law 2000 as amended 2002, Section 12, Subsection A and E. 3. Consequent upon the above, the Honorable House unanimously resolved and declare Honorable Edo Govumet Sunday seat vacant. Before going for your necessary action, please have Honorable Victor and his proposed leader of the House, this is Central Local Government Council, the already got evidence also attached to.
Thank you very much, for the House, distinguished members. We've just heard the resolution letter from Esa Central Government Council at its sitting on 1st July 24. All members declared on the Council, Esa Central declared Edo Sunday seat vacant. You know that. Please let us.
Mr. Speaker, very distinguished colleagues, my name remains Charity Igudala Govumet. I represent the very sagacious people of Obiago one constituency, and by God's grace, the majority leader of this noble house. Mr. Speaker, the local government administration in Nigeria is an arm, or rather, is an arm of government that takes its life, its oxygen, its blood, like like other organs of government and arms of government, from the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, the Constitution, the groundwork, the basis of our Nigerianness, the bastion of our cooperation as a nation, has given power to this noble house to make laws for the good governance and operation of the local government. To that extent, this house passed a law, the Local Government Law 2000, as amended in 2002. Pursuant to the said law, there is a clear provision in section 12, sub A and E, that an elected member, even in the code of morality, have a responsibility to represent the constituents that elected into power with diligence and with utmost duty. Mr. Speaker, I recall that a petition was transmitted to this house concerning a certain honorable elder Edo Sunday who have their office, Mr. Speaker, abdicated his seat as a member of Edo Central Local Government Executive Council. For upward of 180 days, the said councillor has failed, refused, and or neglected to carry out the function for which he is elected. The matter was referred back to the House for their consideration and their review. Mr. Speaker, we have a resolution before us as a factor and evidence of what was the due process that is to be followed. A committee of team was constituted and there was nothing on the other side of the scale. As we say in law, by the preponderance of evidence, it is clear that Elder Edo Sunday has found a better ground. Perhaps the grass on the other side is much greener and lush. He has abdicated his position and he has shown no remorse and no respect for those who elected him to the exalted position. And as it was said in the Bible, his place, let another take. And the only way another will take that position is for this noble house to take a very clear position on the point. That is, to help him to help himself. Mr. Speaker, the resolution concerning the vacancy of the seat of Elder Edo Sunday is done within the ambit of law, and I agree with the Edo Central Executive Council that the seat be so declared vacant. As I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member representing that local government, Edo Central, please can you shed more light on this, please?
Sunday Father Edo Govumet, representing the good people of Edo Central constituency. Mr. Speaker, if you can recall sometime last month, a petition was sent to this house for one of our councillors that was duly elected that absconded. I call it absconded because immediately the house was inaugurated, the guy relocated with his immediate family to the United Kingdom, leaving the people of his ward being unrepresented. The people waited for several months. The people in that ward, they waited for several months. While the salary of the said councillor was going on, he was taking his salary every month. They were paying him. We approached I was called by the leaders of the world. They brought the matter before me. I reached out to the leader of the legislative arm, which he told me that he was giving permission to travel based on the medical situation, whatever it is. Thereafter, I discovered they were playing politics with it. Before the leaders in that world decided to come up with a petition, we necessitated to do the resolution to go. Mr. Speaker, I cannot thank you enough, my members of this house, for the prompt action, because the matter was referred to the committee to invite them for questioning and give a recommendation. Before that, the day that was fixed for that to come, this resolution was quickly and immediately decided and sent to the House of Assembly on the 10th of July. And they're supposed to appear before the House on the 12th of July. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for that. I will still plead the evidence, because what the country has said, his position, let another take. This will serve as a discipline for others, that if you feel that you can secure an office and abscond without discharging your duty to the people that give you their trust and their mandate, so that they will be fully represented. Let me tell you, Mr. Speaker, for the past 9 months, those people have been denied. They are a dividend of democracy in that world. Mr. Speaker, I will beg of you to use your good office to direct the Edo State Electoral Commission to quickly conduct a by-election to fill the vacant post. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I represent all the people of East and Southeast State constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm going to be very, very precise. You can see that I am putting on my red cap chief today. Mr. Speaker, the confirmation sought by the East and Central Legislative Council is not far-fetched. They have actually done the work, because having read their resolution, they've actually consulted all the available documents that was required of them. Mr. Speaker, it is not far-fetched. Here with me is the local government law 2002 as amended. Just like the majority leader said, Mr. Speaker, going straight to the point, if you look at section 12A and E, it is very, very explicitly stated there that there is a number of days an honorable councillor is supposed to be absent for duty. A local legislator. There is a specified days is supposed to be absent for duty. Mr. Speaker, without no permission, I believe he has exceeded that period. Mr. Speaker, just to dosify the minds of the people he represents, I quickly run to the honorable member representing that very constituency to find out whether they have been able to access him on the line. He said yes, they have been able to call him, but he kept promising to come, which of course up to now he has refused to fulfill. Mr. Speaker, I therefore want to lend my voice to this and to tell you that I'm in full support to this confirmation sought by Esan Central Legislative Council.
Mr. Speaker, I'm Honorable Eric Okaka. I represent the very wonderful people of Omais. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the issue as ably raised by the majority leader and also supported by my two other colleagues. One of the issues that actually drew my attention to this was that in any case that one must be given fair hearing, and going through the resolution sent to this house, the Edo Central Legislative Council, they set up a 3-man committee to say that it was a fair hearing, that he was invited, and he never appeared. And based on that, they turned in their reports. And at this point, we cannot try more than the berlin. Mr. Speaker, I therefore lend my voice to this resolution, and I urge my other colleague so that the business of the legislative business can be taken very, very seriously, so that if any man has made up his mind to contest an election, he must know that, if not deprived, that he must access that office. And in this case, this one was not deprived. And for the fact that he's not accessing that office and giving his ward adequate representation, it means he has fallen short of the requirement of the council. And I therefore urge the House to give effect to this resolution. And like the honorable member representing that constituency, Edo Central said, SCF should be called to immediately conduct a by-election so that that vacancy that will be occasioned by the resolution of this House today will be filled in no distant time, so that the people of that world that have been deprived of adequate representation in the past, so that they can now start to feel the impact of the government. That's also it.
I think we are very much on this issue. I think the local council, they are under this House of Assembly. And I think we have spoken much about this issue, and I think I will have a question. I feel agreement that this resolution is a central government executive council. And it's sitting here 1st July 24, members declared or either the whole audience Sunday seat vacant. If you're in agreement, you say aye. Those against say nay. Aye. Consequently, the seat of fully those to conduct the by-election to fill up that gap.
Make una not forget say as we see am na so we dey talk am, we no dey take blame. From Edo State House of Assembly, Omo Ikayere, TMC TV News.